Kat, and welcome to my art video. I wanna be showing how I made this fan art of the "So yeah, I'm a gamer" meme. The meme is by Slimecicles, and if you don't know it, I'm just gonna show you a clip.
So yeah, I'm a gamer. I like video games.
I started off by doing a sketch of my idea. I knew I wanted some girl like having her hands to her headphones in a way and like wearing a big shirt that said it, so that's what I went out by. And after I had a general sketch, I took one of the 3D models from Clip Studio Paint and used that to get a sense of proportion and like a sense of how it would look as a whole. I then sketched out from that and I got a pretty good looking sketch. Most of this video is just gonna be me outlining the sketch, and the reason why it takes so long is because I use different layers for the different lines because I'm planning ahead. I'm planning towards the end where I'm gonna color in the line art, and it's a lot easier if you start off by doing different layers from the beginning. You can also see that I'm like struggling to draw the pinky finger on her left hand at some point, and yeah, it's a real struggle of mine. So I broke it down into the different joints on a different layer to make it more easy for me to understand what I had to do. It got so much better. This drawing took about 1 hour to complete, from start to finish. I'm not counting the 20-minute break I took to look up the video because halfway through I just wanted to look at it. I had some issues with the headphones, so I decided to pull up an old drawing I made of Deva to use them as reference. That's why she also gets like the little weird spikes out from the headphones. I decided to make them shorter though, to not make it like a complete copy. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with her hair, so I tried a bunch of things out. I finally decided I wanted to go with a sort of 2D look. I tried doing some 3D kind of curls, but that just didn't work out with the style. I hadn't really planned much ahead, because I just went directly from the sketch. So it took a lot of experimenting to find out what I wanted this drawing to look like. I of course noticed some mistakes I did now, but overall I think it was a pretty good drawing in the process. There are of course a lot of things I would have done differently now, but I'll just take that as a learning experience. For example, one of the wrinkles I do on her shirt, I don't really think it fits as well now that I look at it. So I would have not put that in if I were to do it again. Another thing I noticed was that her pose is kind of stiff. I knew this was gonna happen because they used a 3D model, but yeah, I could have swayed a bit more from the model, made it more loose and more like she's moving, because her hair is portraying a lot of motion, but her body is pretty stiff. I try my best to take notes of the things I could have done differently after each drawing. I think this will really benefit me when I start to make more advanced drawings I can take from this knowledge, right? I would advise anyone who likes drawing to do this. Maybe if you're just a beginner, you just want to start off by learning the basics, but yeah, I think when you're like medium level, is there even levels when it comes to art? But I think when you have a decent grasp of what you draw, then you should perhaps start taking notes of what you could have done differently. Because as you get better, you start noticing your previous mistakes, and that's a good thing. When I was done with this drawing, I was even thinking to myself, can I even call this fan art? Because it strays a lot from the original meme, but I don't know. It's still the quote, I guess. Maybe it's just a reinterpretation. I don't know. So I'll just call it fan art because I guess it's true. So here I'm starting to color the piece. I start off by doing a flat color on each area I think, needs a different color. So I do like the shirt, I do the skin, I do the pants, and then afterwards I move into details. I don't want to start coloring in one area, make it all perfect, and then move on to the next, because I want to know if the colors actually work together. I do 2 color fades in this drawing, one on the hair and one on the shirt. I do the one on the hair because hair tends to go from dark to light, from top to bottom. You'll notice that if you look at your own hair. And that's also how people like dye their hair. And since this girl has pink hair, it would also make a lot of sense if her top hair was more darker. I also do a fade on her shirt. I mostly do that because I think it looks cool, and I'm also taking into consideration where the light source is gonna be. You'll see me draw the sun of the light source later, and I do that so I can remember where I want the light source to come from. I have previously made drawings where the shadow is just on the opposite side of everything else. Like, I have all of the light hitting from the left side and then the shadows also on the left side. Oh my god, that's awful. So I do this to remind myself not to do that again. I pretty much just used the colors I did earlier with the color scheme swatches kind of things I did. And I changed a bit. I changed the pants and such just so there would be more contrast. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. Which is why I like making like color swatches in the beginning, so I just kind of experiment and get that out of the way immediately. You'll see me do some shadows using soft sprays. Yeah, I'm not too happy relying on that, so I try to stay with the sharp shadows I have. But I like just having a tiny bit of soft shadows, so I have a little bit of form that's not really too strong, but you can still sense it when you look at the drawing. And now it comes to the fun part. I start coloring the line art, and this is really fun because it will really make your drawing pop. It's so important if you want to just take the quality up a notch, you know. It's epic, it's cool, and it takes literally no time if you have done what I did earlier with like taking the lines and putting them onto different layers. That's what I mentioned in the beginning. I was planning ahead because I do this with basically all of my drawings. I do skin layer, I do clothes layer, I do all of that, so I can just change the colors of the line art. And that's it. I only have to fix when they overlap in the wrong order, but that doesn't take much time. I know I missed like maybe a few spots, but again, it's really worth it. But you need to remember, if you want to keep the line art, you don't want the line art to start feeling like it's non-existent because the colors are too similar, unless you're going for that style. So what I do is I take the darkest color I've used in that area, and then I make it a little bit darker and use that as an outline. If it's still not enough, if I still feel like it's blending in too much, I will make it even darker. And with the green shirt, I make it more blue. With the skin, I make it more purplish, because you don't want it to just be a more blackish version of the color. That looks awful. No, you want it to look organic, you want it to look real, especially when you're drawing people. Anyway, I finished this drawing off by giving it a white outline and signing it with my Instagram name, CoolHex. And yeah, that's basically it. I hope you liked the speed paint and maybe learned a thing or two. This was really fun for me to make, and I really enjoyed the process. As I mentioned in the beginning, this drawing took about 1 hour to complete. So yeah, I think it's pretty nice. See you later. Bye bye.